Hello, welcome to Safety First. I'm Regina Price, and I'm currently joined with Officer Crawley, who is part of the Special Operations Division for the Suffolk Police Department, and Captain Huffman, who is the head of the training and safety here at Suffolk Fire and Rescue. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, today we're going to talk about a very serious topic, timely topic, which is teen drunk driving. As you know, it's prom season, graduation, there's lots of celebrations, parties, and sometimes, unfortunately, alcohol is involved with those type scenarios. Could you discuss a little bit about the process of you arrived to a scene where teens were involved with drinking and driving and they had an accident, what the process is as far as law enforcement, what your team has to go through to help them through that situation?
Well, when a law enforcement officer arrives at the scene of a crash, first and foremost is to secure the scene and to make sure everybody's okay. Find out who's involved, what drivers are involved, and also who's at fault with the accident. Once we determine that if there is alcohol that is involved, the at-fault driver, a lot of times we'll have to go through field sobriety tests, which are divided attention tests. And if they're under the age of 21, we have what we call a preliminary breath test, which if their BAC, blood alcohol content, is at 0.02 or above, they're definitely going to be charged with the DUI at that time.
Oh, wow.
What we would do, we would place them under arrest, and then they would have to go to our precinct, our first precinct, for what we call the breathalyzer test. It's the ECI R2 test. They blow into the machine, and it would determine what their blood alcohol content is also. And at that point, the parents would be contacted. They would be charged with the DUI and released to their parents at that point.
Oh, okay. And what type of charges do they face? So I know you mentioned jail time. How long were they looking for?
Well, they're normally in a DUI-related crash, they're charged with the original DUI, and also they could be charged with reckless driving or what other moving violations that we can determine, such as fail to signal, fail to stop at a stoplight. A lot of the penalties for that, for just the DUI, they could face up to a $500 fine. Their license would be suspended for 6 months. They have to attend alcohol-related safety programs. Essentially, a DUI could cost up to $5,000.
Oh, wow.
Besides, that goes along with the original $500, the reinstatement of your license, and whatever other court costs that you would incur during that charge.
Okay. And Captain Huffman, on the public safety side, what is the process for your team when you arrive to a scene?
Well, first of all, it's coincides with the police department. When we roll up on a scene, we have to make sure the scene is safe for our rescue workers to operate. So we're doing what is called a size up, and we're usually doing that primarily when we're rolling up on the scene. We're looking for down power lines, fuel spill, other vehicles involved, pedestrians, any other type of hazards. We can do that in a fairly quick time. We get our equipment staged, put our rescue equipment down. Fire truck is on the scene as well. We'll put a charged hand line for fire suppression, safety operations. That's to protect both our rescue workers as well as the occupants inside the car that may still be in there. That's a precaution that we use. Our heavy rescue companies will come in, start extricating if that's a necessity. If we have people trapped inside the vehicles, we'll cut the roof of the car off if need be, remove the doors, get into that opening, make it bigger so we can safely operate, secure the patients, package them up, remove them out of from the vehicles. If we deem it necessary that they need to be flown to Norfolk General, we will call for Nightingale helicopter, and then we set up a LZ, landing zone, in a designated area. Helicopter will come in, we transfer the patient over to them, and then they take them to Norfolk General for further treatment.
Okay, well, it sounds like there's a lot of costs involved when it comes down to decisions that young people make. But it's good to know that you all are there, you know, instantly when disaster strikes. Can we talk a little bit about prevention? A lot of teens, you know, they might run into peer pressure and have issues at school and not really know the seriousness of, you know, making decisions such as teen drunk driving. What are some programs that are in place? Captain Huff, we'll start with you in terms of public safety.
Well, again, we work closely with the Suffolk Police Department. For the last couple of years, we have put on a very, I think is a very good program, DUI program at Nansemond River High School. This year it was very successful. We got a lot of positive feedback from it this year, and it's basically in their face. We bring the students out, we're right there in front of them. They see the damaged vehicles, they see their friends, although they're playing as a, you know, acting a role, but it looks real. And we definitely, this year alone, we had a number of students became emotionally upset, even though they were acting. So it does, I think it makes a difference. Nansemond Suffolk Academy also does a program every year prior to their prom. So I believe it makes a difference. The young people today, they're smart, but yes, peer pressure is a factor. They have to know the difference between right and wrong. It's illegal in the Commonwealth of Virginia for underage drinking. Sometimes, you know, young people as well as older people do not always make that right decision, and they become intoxicated and get behind the wheel of a car, and then, you know, tragedy strikes. DUI crashes are the worst to work, in my opinion, because usually there's other innocent people involved. And you have that big ripple effect that goes out, and it affects everybody involved. It affects the rescue workers, it affects the police officers, especially if there's a death involved. And then we have means and avenues to take on our side to treat our people, the rescuers, the first responders, if they're having a hard time coping with a tragic event. So we do have safeguards in place to help us as well.
All right, and Officer Crawley, as far as programs that the police department provides, I know you work in tandem on the DUI demonstration,
Yes.
Which I attended as well, and it is very powerful.
Right.
Any other programs?
Yes, well, at all three high schools, Lakeland, Nansemond River, and Kings Fork, we have school resource officers that do take part firsthand in the driver's education portion during the school year. There are other programs such as Youth of Virginia Speaks Out that the students have a chance to sign up for, and Drive Safe America, and all these type of programs. All the training material is free. So if you sign up, I mean, all the pamphlets, all the little things far as that goes on your thumb, far as no texting while driving, and things that help educate on impaired driving, distracted driving, all the material is free. So it's no excuse for any teen or their parents not to realize the effects of a DUI crash. And they're definitely for teens that refuse to be a statistic. They're not going to get behind the wheel after consuming alcohol, and they're not going to get in the vehicle with someone that has consumed alcohol. So there are a lot of programs out there that are really helping out. And I believe that a lot of teens are taking it more seriously now.
Good.
A couple of weeks ago, we did have a fatality crash with a teenager involved, and that affects, like Captain Huffman said, it affects a lot of people. And going out just for what we call a good time is really not worth someone losing their life, you know. So that's some of the things we have in place.
And I understand that the police officer at times has to be the one to go and tell a family about the loss of a loved one. I can't imagine that. What is that like for the officer? I'm sure it's not easy.
It's a very surreal experience, looking into the eye of the family of a victim. I've had the opportunity of attending Mothers Against Drunk Driving ceremonies, and to see the parents, the brothers, the sisters that have lost loved ones in a DUI-related crash. It's really a humbling experience, and it's something that brings tears to your eyes, actually. And police officers, firefighters, we have on uniforms, but we're only human. So anytime someone is killed or seriously injured in an accident, it affects us. And like Captain Huffman said, we have programs where we have to go through to talk about these things that we're dealing with, so we won't take these problems home to our families. So,
well, I appreciate you giving us an insight on what you all do, and I really appreciate and thank you for the service that you give our city. If for some reason people watching the show have questions and they would like to contact, what is a good contact number?
If you want to contact the Suffolk Police Department, the number is 757-923-2350.
My number is 757-514-4544.
All right. Well, thank you again, gentlemen. And as far as for our viewers, the key here is prevention. There's no need to, do something that's unnecessary and can affect others. I hope you got that today, and we'll see you next time on Safety First.
Yeah, that would affect me, because knowing that my friend is hurt, it would be a terrible situation to see that my friend is hurt and that they were being irresponsible.
It's very important. You worked 12 years basically in school to get to this point, so you shouldn't mess it up by being irresponsible and drinking and driving.
My grandfather, he used to drink a lot, too much, and then he would have the nerve to get behind a car. He accidentally hit one person one time, but thank God nothing happened, but still, it was a bad situation.
When I used to play hockey, coming home from practice one night, a whole family was killed by a drunk driver, a grandmother and 3 kids, and they all died on the scene, killed by a drunk driver. I was really close with them, and it was really sad to see all of them pass away.